The Odyssey is a film about disguises, specifically the disguise of the human flesh and the animal or god that lies underneath. There will be spoilers. We see disguises used everywhere throughout the film. Of course, the Trojan horse is the ultimate example. There's also Odysseus's disguise at the end of the film, the fact that Circe says, "Go back to your disguises," when she transforms the pigs back into the men. The way that the men disguise themselves amongst the flock of sheep to escape the Cyclops, and of course, Zeus's law being that you must treat others as you would be treated because they could be a god in disguise. But when Odysseus violates Zeus's law with the Trojan horse, he also violates his own personal code of morals. Early in the film, he discusses with Eumaeus why he plucks his bow to warn his prey before he hunts them, and he says he wants to fight with honor, and Eumaeus says it's a hunt, not a fight, and Odysseus says that hunting is just fighting with stealth. He treats it with the same level of fairness that he would any opponent, and the deception of the Trojan horse disregards this philosophy. At the end of the film, he explains to Penelope how a fight became a hunt. There is now a distinction between the two. The Trojans became prey, treating them as less than human, but even in Odysseus's case, less than the animals he had hunted. There's a moment during the Circe sequence where Odysseus does hunt an animal, and he plucks his bow, and that animal ends up being a human underneath. When the suitors are terrorizing Eumaeus and Argos under the table, Telemachus says, "Leave the old dog alone," and they say, "Which one?" Just as Argos loyally waits for Odysseus's return as he's aging, Eumaeus does the same. There's a parallel between the two. I think the point of all of this is that Zeus's law must apply to all creatures. Because in a world where the flesh doesn't always tell the full story of what's underneath, there must be equal respect and good faith, or else there's equal fear and torment. To burn the walls of Troy is to burn the world. To disregard your own moral code is to disregard everything sacred between people. Penelope says something along the lines of, "The walls of Ithaca are nothing without people respecting its meaning." A man could be a god in disguise, a man could be an animal in disguise, and an animal could be a man in disguise. But we wouldn't have to approach strangers in fear of what's underneath if we all respected the strings that bind us together.